Hello, hello, and welcome to Dwell According to Knowledge, the talk show. I am your host and your coach, Trey, and this is your relationship tip for today. Okay, ladies, listen. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a very old-fashioned and traditional kind of guy. So I kind of practice things that was from back in the day. And I'll let you in on a little secret, ladies. You have way more power than you can ever imagine. Because, us men, if you allow us to do a certain thing, we will do that thing. Whether we know whether or not it's disrespectful or whether we know or not it doesn't fit the normal stuff in this world today, we'll do it. But after that, you all have control. I mean, like more control. If you tell that guy that walks up on you that's got his pants hanging down there behind, up under his butt, you have actually the power to say, hey, man, go pull your pants up. Don't come to me, with none of that, with that junk. When guys come to you talking or cussing or doing any of that other stuff, you have the power. You have more power than you. Listen, don't talk around me like that, let alone to me, but don't talk around me like that, So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, some old dating habits that, you should really not let him, get away from. A lot of stuff that we've gotten away from. I haven't gotten away from them, but most of the dating things, the dating scene, they've gotten away from a lot of the old-fashioned stuff that used to happen back in the day. So I'm going to cover real quick. I'm going to cover 10 of them. Okay. All right. Number one is coming to the door to pick you up. Not sitting out in the car blowing the horn or any of that kind of stuff. Come up to the door, knock on it. Hey. And that depends on where you at. Normally you by yourself, but back in the day, we had to go up there and knock on that door, and the parents may answer the phone and answer the door, and we had to go in there, and we had to meet mom, meet dad, all of that stuff, But coming to the door to pick you up is one. Number two, dress nicely. I mean, good grief. Nowadays they all in tennis shoes and, like I said, all ripped up jeans hanging down below their butts and stuff like that. But dress nicely, which means keep your clothes up, wear a shirt, wear a decent shirt, wear a decent pair of pants or, stuff like that. Okay. Number three is when you're walking to your car, have him open the door. When you walk up to the door, you walk up to it and stop. And if he's old-fashioned, if he's got any scruples or anything about him, he'll walk you to that door and open it for you. But if he doesn't, stand there until he comes and opens the door. Not chirp chirp like you saw in the movie, but come and actually open the door. Okay? Now, I'm gonna do this one. This is kind of like, I don't know. That this can be either or, but going dancing and that's going to dance without a bunch of grimy, slimy stuff. When you're dancing and stuff like that. I mean, when we used to dance, we had a certain way that we danced. Now, a lot of it, some of it was grind and some of it was, but it wasn't that slimy grind, if you know what I mean. Where he got his hand all up under your butt and, you know what I mean, doing, crappy, crazy stuff. Now, we used to get freaky and stuff like that too, but mostly it was an acceptable way of touching you. Okay. Now, number 5, straightforwardly asking someone out and not calling it a hangout, because I don't know about anybody else, but I used to have a young lady that told me, well, we can go hang out. I said, no, it's a date. If I call you up and I say, hey, what are you doing Friday night? And there's a movie out, and we say, hey, I come pick you up at 6. We go to the movies or go somewhere to eat first and go to the movies. It's a date. It ain't no hanging out. Because number one, my mindset is I have a plan for you. And normally that plan is getting to know you to a point of whether or not I want you in my life. So it ain't hanging out. It's a date. Okay? Number 6. Being clear about when you're all are going steady or going to girlfriend, you've taken it to the next level. You know what I mean? The next level, which is girlfriend, boyfriend, that kind of stuff. We're exclusive, that kind of thing. And you have to be very clear about that, because sometimes men, we will take things as they are. And if you don't say anything, we'll keep the status quo, especially where it comes to, having sex. You know what I mean? If you give it up and you don't say, hey, or he don't say, hey, well, you my girl, or any of that kind of stuff, or hey, can we take, can we be official or anything like that, then, you have to be straightforward as to, where this thing is going. But my disclaimer, of course, is wait till marriage for sex, okay? Now I said that way. All right, I'm good with him now, okay? But make sure that you be clear about that, okay? Number 7, like back in the day, I used to do some really romantic stuff. You know what I mean? So you have to get that dude to do some really romantic stuff too. You may have to nudge him in that way by saying stuff like I used to write poems. I used to write letters. I used to tell stories. I used to one of my favorite things I used to do is I used to tell a bedtime story. I used to write them and I used to say them, especially where it came to, once upon a time, there was a princess in a kingdom, there's a king, and then there's a, little, he wasn't even a prince or anything like that. He was kind of like, one of the lower class people in the thing. And I would talk to him about that thing. But what I would do is I would put our particular, how we met, things that we've done, stuff that we talked about, like that. And I used to do that too. So that's pretty much, I used to like that. But writing poems and things like that, okay? Oh my God, no, this one right here, listen, if that fool, well, Lord, I shouldn't have said fool, but hey, if that fool can't keep his eyes off his phone, then he may not keep his eyes. He may not keep his eyes on you. If he can't keep him off his phone, he may not keep him off you. Okay, enough said. All right, number 9. Ask permission. Have him ask permission to do things. Now, mind you, not even all these things you need to do too, with exception to opening doors and stuff like that. But you know what I'm talking about. Ask permission before you do something. You know what I mean? All right, number 10, and this one is not last and certainly not least. Not assuming sex is to be had at any point in time. Save it for marriage. Okay? However, the other part about that, you know what I mean? But do your best to save it for marriage, okay? All right. Those are your 10. I hope you got something out of that. I am your host. I am your coach, Trey. I am the author of the Dwell According to Knowledge series. This one is how to find and date your mate. It's on Amazon. I will put a link in the description below so you can go get it. If you need any coaching, I'll put that one on there as well. Subscribe, like, and share. And I'll see you in the next video. God bless.